Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is October 10th, 2024, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the U.S. market's been pushing higher, and this time it's not tech that's pushing them higher, just the general market. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So at 2:30 South African time, out of the United States, we have a core price index, major number, CPI number coming out then. So just be aware of it. Now looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, the dollar is extending its gains versus most of the major pairs. And as we look at the indices, yes, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ did push higher. Now looking at commodities, gold and oil remaining unchanged, while natural gas still looking kind of weak. Now lastly, look at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin remains unchanged. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD. Now I'm going to first start with a weekly chart, and then we're going to zoom out. Okay, the Euro has gotten weaker ever since it hit that 112.15-ish level. Okay, let's start with that. Double top, and then it retraced. Now we're at this 109.35-ish level, so we dipped another 30 pips. However, we breached one support level. The question is whether or not we're going to jump off the next support level, which might be anticipated. Okay, there we go. That's a major sell-off. That's over 300 pips, okay, from its highs of 112.19-ish level, okay, down to 109.30-ish level. And that's a pretty decent move. The question is, where is it going to bounce? Now, it's hitting this subsequent support level around this 109.16-ish level. Want a nice little level, so keep that in mind as that may still bounce. Looking at the Australian dollar, it's already bounced. Not by much, but it already bounced. And take a look at it, okay, because it is breaching that 8-day moving average and holding on, okay, and this is where it's looking like it's going to consolidate and trade sideways, at least for now. Now, looking at the Canadian dollar, also pushed to new record lows yesterday, did not stop, okay? So it's showing much more weakness versus the dollar than some of the other pairs are showing. Now, lastly, let's take a look at the Japanese yen. Also extended its losses versus the dollar as it's, appreciated it down to 149. Now, at 149, we have a double top here. So this is really a very key place for the Japanese yen, whether or not it's going to bounce higher or not. So keep that in mind. Now, jumping into commodities. Gold not doing much. 26.11 really hasn't done much, okay, in the past couple of days. And if we look at crude oil, also kind of settling here at $73. Now, I got to make a point here. Now, there's a hurricane season, and that affects the flow of oil, especially since it's going through the central part of Florida, and sometimes they back into the Gulf of Mexico, and that's where it becomes really important. I don't think it's going to be the case here. We're not going to see oil spike, and it was really a great move with the, what happened last week with the Middle East unrest. But right now, we're just kind of like settling here. So until there's some sort of news event, I think people are on the sidelines until something comes out. Now, looking at the U.S. markets, did gain nicely. We're looking at the Dow Jones back to its highs, okay, at 42,786. If you look at a daily, it's right there, okay, at all-time record highs. When we look at a monthly, okay, but it's still showing some resilience. And it's showing some resilience not on tech stocks, but on the regular stocks, okay? That's really important. Even though tech stocks did go up, we're looking at the NASDAQ now. It gained a little bit here to 20,435, but the big ones didn't really gain, okay? If we look at Microsoft or Meta was the strong one, it's not back to its $600 range, okay? It's, still $590, okay? If we look at Apple, also got stronger, but not making new highs. So it's kind of interesting that the index is going before the stocks. And that's usually a chance for us to play catch-up. Now, Alcoa did gain yesterday, and so did Bank of America gained yesterday, and so did JP Morgan gain yesterday. Okay, but nothing is standing out just tremendously that is saying, okay, this is leading the market. There are gains here, and the question we have to ask ourselves is the stocks going to play catch-up? And that's really very important. So that's something to look forward to. Now look at Cisco, which is really an important stock, and that made new highs for the year. So, like I said, the stocks mostly gain, but on different intervals, and you got to really pay attention to them. Now, lastly, looking to look at Bitcoin, just trading in a range. It's still doing that. It's at the bottom of that range. It didn't really, sustain to lead us back to that $65. Okay. However, it's still trading in a range, so can't draw any conclusion in either direction for right now. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.